welcome back to a new video. Today I'm going to be doing my second dollhouse kit. I feel like I haven't done a voiceover in a really long time, so it's gonna be really crap. This is gonna be a crap voiceover. Don't forget to like and subscribe, comment, follow me on my Instagram before you've even watched the video. I don't know why people do that, it's really annoying. Also, if you couldn't tell, I didn't actually use the blue template paper that they provided. I used my own paper. I got my paper from a local craft store. So this time I didn't make the mistake of not threading my lights through the furniture first, so I'm threading my light through the table first, so that means I have to make the table first. First. I actually really didn't like the ideas that they have for the lights. The wall light, I ended up changing the fabric, and the table light, the little chandelier, I'm probably going to change it. I'm not sure how I'm going to change it yet, but I really don't like it. I haven't really figured out how I want to change it yet, but I will be changing it because I don't like it. I would probably recommend actually gluing down the tablecloth and also trying to pleat it as well by gluing the sides of the table with the cloth. It just makes it a little bit more realistic as opposed to just gluing the tablecloth just to the top. If you pleat it, it makes the fabric have a little bit of weight to it. It just looks more realistic. Make sure you look at the instructions so you know which wires go to which wire. By the way, these light kits are actually really easy to figure out and to use. The only thing that I will mention is that the kits never seem to provide any electrical tape or any masking tape really that I find would be suitable for covering the wires. They give you this adhesive white sheet that it just looks like sticker paper, and I don't recommend it. I would just use electrical tape. And while I was talking about electrical tape, I have made 2 wooden chairs. I also did change the seat of the chair. I didn't want to do the cushion that they wanted you to make, so I'm using this weaving type ribbon that I got from the dollar store. I guess since I'm not really following the kit to the exact instructions, I'll just mention any single time that I do something different or have something that is not actually provided in the kit so you don't get confused. I actually really liked making these little switches for the oven. I would recommend using some sort of what I'm using, the elephant ear scraper, to fold it, or if you have a bone folder or something to do the creases, because it's a very, very small piece of paper that you have to fold very intricately. I opted out of making the handles out of the black wire they gave. I just think it looked really cheap, so I opted out of making the handles. So right here I'm attaching all the pieces of the counter. There was one small white wooden piece that I could not for the life of me figure out what it was for, and then last minute I realized it was for the side of the counter. I ended up putting little crystals as the knobs for the water. I didn't want to do the little wiry bit. I just thought it looked ugly. So this particular kit didn't actually have any wall art, so I'm using some scrapbooking paper and adhering it to some cardstock and then cutting them out to make little pieces of art, I guess. I ended up not actually using the yellow sign. For the window, I am adding a piece of plastic that I got from plastic packaging. I always keep my packaging, so I'm able to use it to make windows. I am still using hot glue as my preferred glue. You do have to be careful of the little hot glue strings. You can use a whole bunch of different tools to try to clean them, but all you can really do is try to prevent them from happening. But if you do have to clean them up, brushes, tissues, Q-tips, you can kind of use whatever to try to get the strings out. I just remember this one bit from this one comedian where the guy was talking about like social anxiety and you're really shy and just pointing it out to people and just being like, why are you not talking? And he's like, oh, I forgot who that guy was. Also, I'm just gluing the curtain onto this window. These kits are really fun, but I feel like a majority of the time you're just cutting out the paper templates. You're gonna spend a lot of time cutting out the little paper templates. It gets a little bit tedious. I think that's the only part that I actually really don't like, is just sitting and cutting all the little things out. So I changed the lampshade here. The white fabric is actually not provided. They give you like this other type of fabric. Wow, that was specific. They give you like a floral type fabric that you're supposed to use, and then like a gold ribbon cording that you're also supposed to use. I didn't do that. Also, if you notice that there's different lighting, it's because this is like several hours later. Yeah. For the plant, they wanted you to make it out of the paper template. I am using the ceramic pot that I have and painting it white. Also, the plastic plant that they provide you is pretty ugly. The plant that I'm using here is pretty ugly. It will not be the same later in the video. What do you call this thing? A wall cupboard? What is this called? 1 second. Wall cupboard is fine. We'll go with wall cupboard. In retrospect, I would actually probably recommend gluing the little hooks on that bar first. I didn't do that. I highly recommend gluing the hooks first, just because gluing the hooks after the cupboard is already attached to the wall is a little bit difficult. The little wooden slats that I'm gluing on right now were originally a brown color. I did dry brush them to be white. Please excuse how dirty my hands are. And how dry they are. I haven't been putting on lotion as frequently as I used to. Actually, I haven't really been taking care of my hands as much as I used to. This is the table light that I'm talking about that I don't really like. I don't know, I just don't like the design that they provided. Here I am showing you that I don't like that light by just casually destroying it. I'm not going to show every little thing that I glue in, just because that would take me forever to edit. I just did most of the bigger pieces, and here I am fixing that light. I will also add that this kit was definitely more Englishy than the last kit. This one definitely lacks way more English instructions than the other kit. I don't know, it's by the same company though. Here I made the little dish rack, which you can totally just steal off of the spiral coil of a sketchbook. You could totally use that, and that would work as a dish rack too. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like people don't know how to transfer pictures anymore. Like copying, like tracing the picture. I don't understand how people just don't know this. You can totally transfer the images using this method, which is like the graphite method, which I use instead of graphite paper because then I don't have to pay for graphite paper. You essentially just cover the back of the image with a very heavy pencil, like a 6B pencil, and then you flip it on top over on the other side and have the other piece of paper underneath the paper that you have, and then trace the line, and then the graphite should transfer to the piece of paper below. That's how you can transfer a picture. This is the worst looking stove I've ever done. I think I will be remaking this once I find a different type of wire. This type of wire is definitely not strong enough to kind of maintain the shape of it. It's essentially like a very flimsy wire. Boom, here's a teapot and a knife. I didn't film it for some reason. That's not a knife, that's a spoon. I see you've played knife and spoony before. That was the worst accent ever. Also, here's a whisk and like a potato masher. I think in the kit they wanted you to cut like this little gold disc to be the handles of the cup. I didn't do that, I just used the same white wire to make the little handles. And here I am making the really bad bread that they want you to make. This is really bad, I'm gonna get rid of it after. And here are all the accessories that I finished making. I didn't show every little thing, but the instructions are pretty easy to follow. The tiny basket is not included. I added that as well with the scrap fabric that was provided in the kit. I didn't use all of it, so I just threw that in there. I thought it looked really cute. This tiny little pitcher thing, I think, was a metal little pitcher from the miniatures collection from Michael's. These tiny little plants, I didn't film me making them just because they were the tiny little paper cutouts and it was super small and super irritating to try to film, and I had to make 6 of them or 7 of them, so I didn't film myself doing it. And the greenery that I used is actually from a different plastic shrub that I use. Suddenly, many tiny things. I just finished adding some more tiny things, and here are even some more tiny accessories that I'm also adding. I cut 2 little napkins that I'm gluing to the table, which you cannot see. A wild cat appears! I just made another wooden slat thingy, and I'm just adding that as a little shelf. I'm adding another plant and the rest of my accessories, and then I am done! We're gonna excuse how dirty that kettle looks. So as you can see, I added a whole bunch of other things. I added a tiny sponge, another planter, that book I was originally not going to add, another napkin thingy, some more wall art. I added tons of other minis that, I don't know, I just felt like we were lacking some wall art in this kitchen. Here's the kitchen with the lights on. It's so cute! I hope you enjoyed watching my second dollhouse kit. Don't forget to do all the things, like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on my Instagram. Instagram, please. Instagram, please. Here's my Instagram. Okay, anyways, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye! In retrospect,